With all the fame, fortune and everything else in between, who could possibly hate the life of a superstar Formula 1 driver? Let's face it, you and I both expect life at the top of world's #1 motorsport to be nothing but glamour. But this isn't the case at all, as a dark interview by Valtteri Bottas has revealed. How did an eating disorder sadly plague much of Bottas' life as an F1 driver? And just why did Bottas struggle so much in the first place? This is the untold story of mental health in F1. Watch to the end to find out what the behind-the-scenes life for an F1 driver is really like. Let's get right into it. In the second episode of the new season of Yokyasa by Maria Vitola, Valtteri Bottas doesn't only open up the doors for his home to the Finnish journalist, but also on his early struggles in Formula 1. During his home tour of the show, Bottas tells Vitola and the world about his Formula 1 dream and what it felt like to actually reach the top. And on one more sinister note, everything else in between, which we'll cover now. Buckle up. The 33-year-old revealed that right at the start of his F1 career in 2013, he had already driven himself into exhaustion, thanks to eating far too little and overtraining. Bottas revealed that he would train himself sick, mentally and physically, to the point where it got out of hand and even became an addiction. And although he wasn't officially diagnosed with an eating disorder, the Finn was still quite sure he had one. According to Bottas, he would eat only steamed broccoli between long runs while sticking with his training, went as far as hiding all of this from his performance coach. It's quite a lot to be dealing with all by yourself. He revealed to Vitola that none of it was healthy, but his fierce desire to become the best was what pushed him to do this. The 33-year-old claimed that he'd had anything his team told him to if it guaranteed he'd win the race, including reducing his weight. What's worse, it was around the time that Bottas' former teammate Jules Bianchi passed away in a Formula 1 accident. With everything that the Finn was dealing with at the time, Bianchi's untimely demise was particularly difficult for him to process. Bottas then revealed that he needed a psychologist to help him recover, and their first assessment of him was that he was virtually a robot that was just all about reaching his goals. This definitely shook him up quite a lot back then because it was true. All the Finn had in his life was Formula 1. If you thought that was bad, just wait for what's coming. While the interview was still going on, Bottas and Vitola had to give former Finnish race car driver Mika Häkkinen a call. Häkkinen had been an essential background figure in Bottas' career for quite some time, so it was only right that he joined in. On coming on, they all talked about how little mental support Formula 1 drivers often get, and how everyone is pretty much alone on the psychological side of things. Häkkinen even thought back to how long it took him to get his first Formula 1 victory. The two-time World Drivers' Champion entered Formula 1 back in 1991 with the team Lotus. However, it wasn't until 1997, 6 years after that, he scored his first F1 victory, and the 54-year-old revealed how much of a toll that took on him. The Finn claimed that during his unsuccessful run, he was in a continuous mental battles with himself, constantly thinking about what he could have done wrong. Bottas had to do something before it was too late. He revealed that he eventually reached out for help during his switch from Mercedes to Alfa Romeo for the 2022 season. Before his switch to Alfa Romeo, Bottas revealed that he was going through a rough patch in his life, mainly because his future was on hold and he had no idea which team he would be driving with. And this made asking for help an even bigger step. The Finn claimed that the importance of mental health isn't discussed between the team, while also stating that it isn't the only F1 driver out there who struggles at times. Bottas left Mercedes for Alfa Romeo, he lost his first driver spot to Lewis Hamilton. And although the Briton came good for the team, winning a total of 6 F1 World Championships with Mercedes, Bottas admitted that the second driver spot was a tough thing to accept. When talking to Vitola, the 33-year-old revealed that for someone as competitive as himself, He couldn't accept that Hamilton was the better driver until his last year at Mercedes. He spent 5 years thinking about ways to beat Hamilton and win the championship. That means 5 years without success. This will take a toll on anyone. Well, all that's in the past now because Bottas has identified that he should have taken a lot easier on himself. He also believes that he should have given himself more time for growth during his rookie years at Mercedes, admitting that he wanted to win everything at once. When that didn't happen, it was difficult to accept. Afterwards, Vitola says that her conversation with Bottas was the most important part of her visit because he gets to open up and talk about his struggles as an F1 driver. She even reveals that time after time on her programme, she gets to find out just how alone people actually are and how difficult it is to find help. Tiffany Cromwell, Bottas' partner, was also present on Vitola's show, and she revealed towards the end of the episode that switching to Alfa Romeo had an instant effect on his state of mind. According to Miss Cromwell, who started dating Bottas back in 2020, the Finn became more relaxed immediately after he completed his move to Alfa Romeo. She also revealed there's a lot less critique from other people now. If you've been following Valtteri Bottas before now, then you know that this isn't the first time the 33-year-old is opening up about his struggles at the start of his F1 career. In a podcast back in 2021, he detailed the mental struggles he battled in 2014 when he drove for Williams. He went as far as calling himself a ghost during the podcast, and this makes his progress even more beautiful to see. It still, however, speaks for what Formula 1 drivers out there go through just to ensure victories for the teams. This also makes the FIA's 2019 weight regulations even more important. Prior to 2019, an F1's car's weight included the driver's weight. Therefore, teams usually preferred lighter drivers. The lighter the driver, the lighter the car. Here's the physics behind it all. If a car is heavy, then it takes the engine more power to propel the weight forward. This basically means that the teams have to lose weight however and whenever possible. In a sport like Formula 1, a team can only lose a race by mere milliseconds. Put otherwise, difference in driver weight of a few grams could be the difference between winning and losing. As painful as that sounds, that's just the reality of the sport. If a driver is as much as a kilogram overweight, he would lose as much as 2 seconds during the race. Reasons like these are why Bottas did everything possible to be underweight. Will the FIA crack down on this and establish regulations that resolve this messy situation? Now cars and drivers are weighted differently, and the minimum weight of a driver is 176 pounds or 80 kilograms. If a driver, however, is below this weight limit, extra weight will be incorporated into the vehicle to increase the driver's weight up to that 176 pounds. Since this rule was established in 2019, taller and heavier drivers were no longer at a disadvantage, and more importantly, drivers no longer feel the need to put themselves through horrible conditions just to weigh less. Valtteri Bottas has a huge and very important season to prepare for. The Finn ended the 2022 season at 10th in the driver's standing, and he and Alfa Romeo will undeniably be looking to climb further up the rankings. Alfa Romeo became only the 4th team to unveil their car for the upcoming 2023 season, ditching the white and red livery for a more aggressive black and red look. Bottas' teammate remains unchanged from the previous season, with a 23-year-old Zhou Guanyu looking to make the most of his opportunity. Before Alfa Romeo's improved C43 car hits the track at the pre-season in Bahrain on the 23rd of February, the car will be shaken down in Barcelona. What do you think of Bottas' entire mental struggles? With the season starting on the 5th of March, how far do you see Alfa Romeo going? If you've enjoyed watching this video, you're going to want to click the video on your screen right now.